This is the future.
Now, let's talk about the coolest Warframe ever made, and that is Nidus. In case you did not know, aside from Ash, Revenant, Mag and Hildren, I'm a big sucker for Nidus, especially when the Prime version came out. I know most of new players won't understand how Nidus is meta when we all know that Monkey Prime and Ass Prime are the most meta Warframes right now, but there was a time wherein Nidus was worshipped by level cap players. You see, I came in an age where everything was simple. Back then, you go to Void Survival, the normal star chart by the way, as we don't have Steel Path levels yet, then spend a couple of hours just to reach level cap levels. In most cases, endurance runners back in the days spend about 4 hours to get at max level cap, I guess, so correct me if I'm wrong as I forgot already. And get this, we don't have shield gating back then. It's either go invisible, move, or have an ability that give you immortality. Back in the days, Wukong was also fun with the immortality setup for Defy. You pair that with Rage Mod and Prime Flow, then you get infinite immortality and Wukong just won't die with Defy. Also, enemies were hard as fuck as they are not only bullet sponges, but they hit hard that even the slightest mistake in solo endurance could kill you. It takes patience, dedication, filthy crafting, and a whole lot of time to do level cap endurance in the past, and to those players who are so fascinated with the idea of going against the highest level enemies in the game, they were amazed on what Nidus can provide. So what is really with Nidus that he had became meta for endurance runners in the past? Well, not only in the past but also now, as still, this Warframe is an absolute beast when it comes to endurance runs. If you take a look at it, the Warframe doesn't have invisibility that has the best survivability in the game, and he also don't have insane 2 billion damage capability. So what's with Nidus that many of us enjoy the Warframe despite some players saying to stop playing Nidus? There are two reasons. One is immortality, and the other one is synergy. Nidus may not be a versatile Warframe as other frames available in the game, but he is very good in level cap, and you can say that he honed his craft to be the best in this specific game mode. Just a reference, remember Zenitsu from Demon Slayer? That cowardly, weak-willed, and anxious boy who loves the color yellow, often claiming that he doesn't have long to live due to the dangerous job of being a Demon Slayer? That guy who said that if you have mastered one, then that calls for a celebration? I can say that Nidus is the same, as he may not be a jack of all trades, but he mastered the survival levels and is considered to be one of the best, if not, the best survivalist in the game. Are you saying that Octavia is not a thing at level cap squad leader? Nidus is built to make surviving easy. I know Octavia has infinite invisibility, but let me ask you this. Would you tap a button, or more specifically, teabag every time just to receive invisibility, or would you press a button and build up stacks so you will gain immortality? I think it really comes down to how easy Nidus can survive. Also, it's very satisfying to see Nidus the like a fucking boss, absorbing damage and not flinching one bit. The Undying passive 1-bar DAS passive that gives you 5 seconds of invulnerability, and all you need is to always have 15 mutation stacks to activate it, which is pretty simple to do using his first ability. The only catch though is that usually, you need a lot of enemies to be in one place so you can gain mutation stacks fast. That won't be a problem though, as Nidus got lava that group enemies together. And then, if you want some crowd control and healing, there's his fourth ability that gives heal per seconds, and also maggots that latches to enemies to stun lock them in one place. Basically, Nidus has everything need to make the Warframe work in survival missions. The best part is, there's no energy problem with this frame, as you can gain energy per cast of virulence, and the more enemies hit, the larger the energy rewarded. The same goes with equipping Blind Rage in your build. The more negative efficiency, the larger you can gain energy, which helps out also Nidus, as you can also stack a lot of power strength mod in your build to somehow get a crit build synergy using his teaming virulence augment with a bunch of primary weapons. All in all, Nidus' abilities are synergetic, and works together well. His first provides energy and mutation stacks so you can keep casting your abilities and also get mutation stacks for your Undying passive. Not to mention that virulence can be a deadly ability also if you have paired it with abundant mutation augment that increases the stacks, adding more damage. But the only downside is, your Undying passive now will have 30 seconds cooldown, which is quite high if you are dealing with level cap units. Also, Nidus got an augment called Insatiable by the way that grants faster acquisition of mutation stack. Then he got lava that also has an augment to dish out toxin procs. This is great when paired with Ularu's defense stripping abilities, and all you need with this is to group enemies, then virulence and lava toxin procs to take care of killing enemies. No need to use weapons. And then, there's the parasitic link skill that gives out damage reduction and use in various shenanigans in team builds to get more power strength if you link to your team mates. And lastly, the crowd control and healing of Ravenous. If you take a look at his skills, you can see how synergetic these abilities are that allows Nidus to survive even the level cap units. On the other hand, some of his augments, especially the teaming virulence augment, allows plenty synergy for red crit builds with primary weapons. Not to mention that lava has tons of potential for a group and nuke setup, but why use ensnare in your build squad leader? Well, it's really just a personal preference as I'm cosplaying a chain Nidus. Looks cool and it does the job pretty well, while I like to see a giant meatball formed by enemies grouped by lava. Ensnare is a better option for me as sometimes there are certain setup that requires headshot, which makes it easier for me to get unlimited ammo with arcane pistol ear and using ensnare. In addition, ensnare does affect acolytes, so it's better for my play style. That's all about it though, and you can actually get the full power of Nidus without any Helminth builds. How about Arcane Shards? Well, you see, that's another good part. There's a lot of option for Nidus because in terms of builds, you can go bananas with power strength without sacrificing anything. Probably, Orgaze Nidus with 400% power strength is achievable right now, and I will try to do that later. All you need for that build is to remove overextended and replace with stretch, then replace this augment slot with Orgaze, add mult augmented in the Aura slot, and slap a couple of Tau Forge red shards to gain more power strength. That would be the most useful build, as not only you can get the full benefit of surviving in level cap, but also farm a couple of resources that you need. Overall, Nidus is still relevant for me right now, and I can say that I'm still having fun with this Warframe in Steel Path levels. Why not level cap? Well, I'm not doing that anymore. Sorry lads, after a while, I outgrew my addition to level cap and it's nowhere near as fun right now compared to the past level cap wherein shield gating wasn't a thing. However, there is also a part of me wishing that Nidus gets revisited. Not just Nidus, but old frames also, to match the power level of the newer Warframes right now. I have been pushing a rework for older Warframes for quite some time now, and I hope that someday in the future, they will be doing decent reworks for other old Warframes. So that's all about it. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.